Dan Lampariello in the house, huh?
Absolutely.
Always
He's
great
on
to
your
be here,
side.
guys.
Yes.
Hey, from air quality to safety concerns, many of Maine's classrooms are in crisis.
Aging school buildings are creating a real challenge that could impact students for decades to come. Dan has been closely investigating the state of Maine schools. He's here now with more about his research. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning,
Thanks for being
guys.
here,
Happy
as always.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
Happy
back at you.
Valentine's Day.
It's great to be here.
The issue here is that Maine schools are old. That's the bottom
They
line.
are.
But how do we replace all these schools?
That is a complicated question. There are just so many old schools across our state. We did research back last August when we originally started looking into this, and we found the average age of a school building in our state is 54 years old.
Wow.
The majority were built between 1950 and 1970, and most of them now are way past their useful life. There's just a lot of health safety issues. One example is the town of Dayton. They're a single school district down near Biddeford and Saco. Their school was built during the Harry Truman administration. So that just shows how old it was before, modern building codes, the American with Disabilities Act, modern learning standards. Right now, the majority of their students are learning in portable classrooms, which are separated from the rest of the school. So kids actually have to go outside between lunch and all of that. There's no hallway in between the two. I want you to hear from the superintendent, though, because he really sums up why this is impacting student learning.
The staff and the principal have done wonderful things to try to alleviate some of that, but the fact of the matter is not having kids in the same school building, especially when you look at pre-K through 5, is really problematic.
So how would funding to replace these buildings actually work?
So the current funding model right now is based off of debt. The state bases all of their projects through a school construction program based off of bonding. So over the past 20, 30 years, the number of projects have only gone down because projects have become more expensive and the need has grown. So they've been able to build less and less schools. And the big debate right now is how do we fix that? Because there are so many old schools across the state that are in dire need of repair, but there's just not enough money to go around. And that conversation's happening in Augusta and with a commission that the governor has created. But it goes well beyond just, hammer and nails, and the superintendent in Dayton kind of sums that up a little bit here because they are struggling. They can't go to their tax base to ask them for more money, and the state doesn't have enough money to go around. So what's the solution here? And hear what he had to say. This is Jeremy Ray.
This just isn't a hammer and nails construction issue. This is about where do the funds come from and what models around the country work to help create a situation where not everything that we do is based off debt and borrowing.
So what are some of the solutions that are being talked about since we don't have the money?
Sure. So the governor signed an executive order back in the fall, it was late summer, early fall, to create a commission to study this. First time in 25 years that the state is studying construction funding. They're looking at all different things. They're looking at models, like Jeremy said, of other states, say Massachusetts, which funds all of their schools off of a sales tax initiative, and they have like a funding authority that pays for it with cash. But then there's state lawmakers that, while the governor's commission is doing their work, they've submitted some legislation to kind of look at this as well. Michael Brennan, who is a representative from Portland, has submitted a bill to tap into taxes. So it would be small increases in the lodging tax, cannabis tax, gambling tax, and you funnel those percentages away to create a fund to pay for these new buildings in cash. Obviously, that may not be popular right now because of some of the budget constraints that the state is facing, but it's something that is obviously going to be debated this session. And the governor's report is due in April, so we'll see what those solutions they try to offer as well.
Well, it sounds like I watched your piece last night, and it sounds like Brendan's pretty, passionate about this.
He is.
Yeah.
And I asked him the question. I'm like, is this going to be popular among your colleagues on the other side of the aisle? He's a Democrat from Portland. Republicans have said they don't want to see any tax increases this session. And he said because they're tapping into so many different fundings, so not just cigarettes, not just cannabis, not just gambling, he believes that could be an easier pill to swallow, if you will. But the issue is not going to go away. So if no action is taken this session, we're only going to see buildings deteriorate more. And unfortunately, it leads to a worse learning environment for children across the state.
And it's so tough because it's tough to find middle ground because so many people, they don't want their property taxes to go up.
Absolutely.
Then you have other people, when you start talking consolidation, are like, wait a minute, we don't want our second graders going in the same school that eighth graders at. Or then you have what's going on in Portland. There have been rumors about Portland and Deering combining. Well, we like that rivalry. We have separate schools. It's tough to find common ground here.
It really is, and that's the unfortunate thing is there's going to have to be some tough pills to swallow from both sides of this issue. You brought up the issue of consolidation, and that's going to be, I think, the #1 sticking point that's going to be discussed in the legislature. Forced consolidation, we've seen in our research, does not work, but when you have districts that are working together or within the district to kind of combine resources, that's when it seems to get more people on board. But there's no doubting that the state's student population is going down. We've lost 20% of our student population since 1991. We have way too many schools for the amount of students that are in our state right now. But again, we're a rural state, so having your community school like Dayton, that's a center point of their community, and it's going to be tough for them to want to either close that or consolidate it. I don't think it's in the cards for them.
Yeah, it could lead to some long bus rides for some students.
Yeah, that's
as well.
the thing to consider.
Yeah.
I have friends of mine that their kids are on the bus for like an hour and a half, especially when you go to the bigger school district like Oxford and like Buxton and Standish.
And Oxford
many
Hills is one
factors.
right now that they're considering consolidating a bunch of elementary schools because they're old buildings. Agnes Gray in West Paris is closed right now because it just could not meet modern standards, and they don't have the money to fix it.
Wow.
So every school district in the state is facing this issue. No easy solution.
All right, well, we know that you will keep us updated, especially on the legislation and maybe solutions going forward.
All right, thanks.
Absolutely.
All right, you can go on the website, WGMA.com, for the latest.
Search for your
And
school
watch
on
the
our
piece.
website.
Yes, Dan, thank you.